Hey everyone! So it's been a while since we posted a video and even longer since we took that video. That video was taken, I believe, the third week of May. It is now the end of July, so we are going to do a full yard walk tour and show you where everything is at and what's going on here at Everyday Veggies Homestead. But first, meet our newest family member. This is Rex. His full name is Tiberius Rex, also known as T-Rex. Tiberius is for James T. Kirk from Star Trek. That is one of our favorite series, so that's a big influence for us. So yeah, Tiberius Rex, T-Rex. Troy's been obsessed with dinosaurs since he was little, so that's another nod to that. And yeah, he's a rescue. We got him a few weeks ago. And his mom was a St. Bernard Great Pyrenees mix. Not sure on dad, but everybody's thinking Rottweiler just by the look of the puppies. So he will be a very, very large dog when he's full grown. Probably 100, 150 pounds, maybe more. We're not sure.
All right, so this is the kitchen garden. It's all the food that, we dig up quickly through the summer and eat in the kitchen. Everything went pretty slow because of all the cloud and rain that we had in June and July, but we got a lot of stuff going on. On this side, we planted peppers all the way down, and they did grow a bit. They're still pretty small, but they are growing, so that's all right.
We didn't have them eaten by anything.
Yeah, which is a nice
Those ones
comparison.
anyways.
And then going down the trellises, we got English cucumbers. Yeah, cucumbers on both sides. And then zucchini on both sides. And then more zucchini.
I think that one was yellow squash, right?
Yeah, that was yellow
squash.
Okay. Squash, that's right. And then this whole back column here was pickling cucumbers. And so we'll see if we can pickle some cucumbers this summer. And then coming around, down this trellis basically.
Hold on, let me come over here so I can see you.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Cherry tomatoes. And we built this stuff earlier this summer, obviously. And this is growing through it fantastically, holding on tight and working its way up. So cherry tomatoes, and then Roma tomatoes. This guy, he was planted in the same soil, but somehow he did amazing. And every time he gets a little taller, I just
weave him back and forth.
And there's tomatoes coming, which is
awesome.
Exciting. And then back here, our first batch of beefsteak tomatoes completely died. Slugs or something ate them up. And so we did a whole second batch, started from seed, and they're all doing good. Like, those are good, thick stems. Tomatoes are coming, so we're almost at sandwich burger tomatoes.
Yeah, something we haven't done that we will in future years, just time, is trimming all these plants to help them grow better. We just have not had very much time.
These.
A little bit?
I don't really mention it. I come
okay.
out like every other day.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, all the suckers. I've been popping them off as you go.
Oh, you have
there's
been?
a main stem coming up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I've done that on all of them.
I see something pretty cool behind you.
Oh, yeah. So these are the pickling cucumbers, and I did have to hand weave these up, but they're holding on tight, and
there we go.
We're getting cucumbers.
Nice. You should bring that in later and
yeah,
pickle.
Like, look at that. That's cool.
Let me come
so the pickling cucumbers grab on tight.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we got some chives.
I think that was from...
everything else, nothing's been planted here yet. I've got a bunch of stuff in the greenhouse to go here.
That we haven't had a chance to do yet.
We did plant 9 broccoli. 2 are still alive. The other ones got chewed right down to the dirt. Just what it is. And then the last row here, we didn't plant for half of this until here. And they haven't grown.
At all.
That's how big he was 2 months ago.
How many did we plant? Like
12.
12, and there's like, what, 3 left?
These are all hot peppers. There are a few.
But a lot of them...
Oh, that guy.
Oh, that one's doing okay.
Oh, that's just like, just now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a pepper coming.
Sweet. Yeah, we just finally gotten sun in the last few weeks, so...
And then just because we're listing everything, we've got a row of pascaps. And back in beginning of June, we did get to eat haskaps off that. And then a fun thing. One thing is we need wood chips, and I like free. So local people who've been just trimming their yards have been dumping their yard waste in our yard. I'm gonna get a wood chipper later this summer and wood chip it all. I've got a place for it with the compost, and we'll use that for mulching later.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then this is where our compost bin was last winter. And this plant is doing better than everything else in the whole yard.
We didn't even plant it. We don't know what it is. It's some sort of squash.
Yeah. And it's, yeah, so this is where our compost used to be. Yeah. And next down the line is our pear trees. 1, 2, 3. We did 3 pear trees. And we did the whole forest guild thing with them, or we tried to. We planted comfrey, which is really good at pulling up nutrients. It has really, really deep roots. It's a perennial. It'll last forever.
Now, hold on. With the comfrey, we got a special kind that doesn't spread because
like a
that
Russian blocking 14.
Yeah, so it doesn't spread because comfrey tends to spread really easily, and then once it's like established, you can't get it out even if you try.
The roots can go down like 14 feet or something crazy.
So we got a special kind that doesn't spread unless you want to propagate
so we
it.
got that. Weeds took over, but I did plant onions, which you can see here. And I did plant garlic right there. And
We got some volunteer tomatoes or cucumbers
again, the compost pile was here, so
something.
Surprise!
We'll see what happens. The tree's looking pretty good though.
Yeah, and so each pear tree, same thing. More onions, more garlic. That's not garlic.
Some of the tree guilds did really well, and some didn't.
Yep.
I think that's just like soil health, and again, we're working this year on increasing soil health. That's right. So hopefully in future years we can, you know, make better tree guilds too. That comfrey's doing amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's huge. That's all one plant. So comfrey's super good because it's a good green mulch. And I did plant with every tree marigolds, which are on their way.
Okay, what's next?
Next, last year we did plant 2 raspberry bushes. These are black raspberries, and I just kind of planted them, left them, and
these ones are doing really good.
Other raspberries in the yard.
And they got knocked over a few times just because they were kind of in the middle. Kids drove over them with their toy car.
And then down here.
Oh, so we got a bunch of rhubarb from some friends of ours and just transplanted it, and it's doing amazing.
Yeah, 20 plants. I just dug it up, split them into individual roots, and a month ago there was no leaves. We've got a whole bunch of rhubarb coming along. And this is just kind of dead space because it's under the solar panels, so it never gets good sun, it never gets good rain. So the intention wasn't even to produce a crop, but just some nice ground cover that might produce, and it did. So that's cool.
The kids love eating it with a little bit of sugar too.
Next up, we have a row of blueberries, and some of them kind of grew. It's only the second year, but they barely did anything.
Now, we had wanted to expand this to 2 rows, but there was no blueberry bushes available at any of the greenhouses this year.
And we had time.
Yeah, so we didn't get a chance this year. Next year, we'll definitely make an effort to do probably another row of blueberries. Are we going to do it on this side?
Where the red post is.
Okay.
Those 2 red posts mark where the snow falls off.
Okay. Yeah, so we're going to do another row of blueberry bushes as soon as we can, because blueberries are wonderful and we can freeze or make jam or whatever, hopefully eventually.
They are here. One little guy, another little guy. He did pretty good. He did better.
Oh, now something we're doing something we're doing this year is we're actually picking most of the fruit off of all of the fruit plants.
All the flowers off.
Yeah.
That way the plants can spend all the effort growing their roots, growing their leaves, getting bigger instead of spending all their effort making berries. So
we weren't trying to get any yields this year from our fruit.
That's right. And now we go over to the hazelnuts.
And my willow tree. I love willow trees, so I've planted a willow tree. This is Willow. These guys have done amazing.
Yes. So we got 5 hazelnuts. 1, 2.
That one we got when it was
Little guy.
that was like a 1-year-old and the other ones were 2 years already, so
Yeah. This guy and this one. And it looked like it was going to die for a while. Most of the tree looked like this, but through the summer it's filled out and it's doing pretty good. Next we go over to our side garden.
so this was one that we chop and dropped last year. So we added a lot of green mulch last year and it's doing amazing.
Yeah. So we've got peach trees. And again, like we said, these are new trees, so we took all the fruit off, all the flowers off, so that it would spend all its effort on just getting roots developed, established, all that. So 3 nectarine, 6 peaches, and then this is a row of strawberries we planted, and then a row of pumpkins. And the pumpkins in the last 2 weeks have just exploded. And the strawberries survived. We planted 40 of them.
Yeah, 40.
And just like 35 of them that have nice big leaves now.
Here, let's go look. Oh, and another comfrey for the tree guilds.
The grass keeps fighting us.
So these pumpkins are escaping, which is wonderful.
Right here.
Look at these beautiful flowers on them. We're gonna get
Right
some
here.
really cool stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
the strawberries?
strawberries.
Like those leaves are nice and healthy.
Yeah, hopefully next year we'll get a bit of a crop from them.
Right there. It's hard to fight all the grass. More, and they go all the way down.
Yeah, so again, for me anyways, we've been super busy doing other things, including puppy. So haven't had a lot of time for weeding. Doing a lot of infrastructure things this year. So hopefully future years we'll have more time to just keep up with all the weeding and that kind of stuff.
And just like with the tree guild thing, comfrey with each tree.
Yep.
That one's doing amazing again.
Oh, all these flowers
These
came on
have
the
like
pumpkins.
come in last day.
Well, and the flowers weren't here a few days ago.
That's right.
That is exciting. Oh, so we did like, how many different kinds of pumpkin?
11.
Yeah, I was a little
Yeah.
excited.
A little bit of everything. We did 3 of every kind of pumpkin.
Pie
We'll see what grows
pumpkins.
good here. Well, and you can see that
There was one kind that didn't grow.
this kind did badly. But you can
All
see
the
that
rest.
some varieties did amazingly.
Yeah, we did like giant pumpkins and white pumpkins and pie
Jack-o'-lantern.
pumpkins, jack-o'-lantern, yeah, all different
Fairy
kinds.
tale. This one's an heirloom variety that is supposed to be really hardy here.
Yeah, so we're just
So,
trying a bunch of different stuff to see.
and
works.
beans come through.
Okay.
So in addition to all that, we build in the trees and all the comfrey on all the bushes. That was version 2 of our there you go. That was version 2 of our compost bin, and we discovered we have raccoons, and they love our compost. They would come in every night and make a mess, and that's no good. So I just finished version 3, and this thing is fantastic. So the idea is 3 compost bins. You start, when it's full, you move it over. When it's almost done, you turn it again. And by the time you get to the 3rd one, you've got good compost. You've got 2 more batches on the way.
On the way.
It has a chicken wire lid. And these just slot out.
So when you're shoveling, you can get at it really easy.
Yeah. I love it. It's chicken wired on all sides, and I know the raccoons tried to get in last night, and I know they failed.
Yes. Yeah, you just finished that yesterday?
Yeah. So that's doing fantastic.
Yeah,
Because
so
the thing we learned is we need compost. We need nutrition in our soil. We need a lot more of it. And I like making it myself.
yeah.
So on we go.
Oh, yeah, so just talking about, all the projects we're doing, trying to set ourselves up for success. That was one big one
Yeah.
that you've been spending a bit of time on instead of doing weeding and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And so from right here, we had our vocabulary, our side garden with the pumpkins and strawberries, our back garden with no sunflowers, They didn't come up.
They didn't come up last year either. We planted some last year too.
Yeah,
They're just
but
not.
no luck with sunflowers.
Nope.
And I just grew alfalfa, lots of it, because alfalfa makes good green mulch, makes good compost. It's just a nice balanced nutrition for plants. So I just planted a whole field of it, and I will cut it down and use it as green mulch on all the other fields this year.
Now, speaking of just, things that grew and didn't this year, apparently alfalfa is supposed to be one of the faster growing plants, but it didn't grow how we thought it was going to. I think that's partially because of all the rain that we got and not very much sun, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I did plant a row of sunflowers here. That did nothing. This is fun. I thought I'd try growing carrots for seed. So last year we did a row of carrots here, and I just left these ones in the ground over winter, and I just let them flower this year, and I'm gonna let them go to seed and try to collect the seed and try planting, which is just fun. But the deer are eating them.
The deer are eating a lot of plants in our yard.
Yeah. They've eaten some of the peach trees, they've eaten the cherry trees in the front yard, they've eaten, well, we'll get to more. They've eaten stuff out there. Oh yeah, vocabulary. This is the field. This is where we have our trellising. We have rows and rows of lots of stuff in there. That's the big, fun, exciting one, which we'll get to in a minute. So we had the carrots, and then on the back of this field, we did plant butternut squash.
We have one left. Yeah.
The deer were in the yard a half hour ago.
Right when we came out.
Eating these all off.
They're all gone. Which sucks, because we got so much butternut squash last year and used it all through the winter, and it was lovely.
Yeah, it's stored super good.
Yeah.
So we did plant butternut squash here. It just keeps getting eaten.
Again, part of the deer thing and why we've been so busy is we've been trying to figure out the best way to deal with deer. In our town, people have said that they've never seen deer here until this year. So we never planned to have to deal with deer when we did our research last year. So this was kind of like a surprise, and we were really just trying to deal with the fruit trees and stuff. Kids are calling. So that's definitely something that we spent a lot of time dealing with.
And finally, not finally, because there's more and more and more. It's worth mentioning, almost none of this was here last year. We had this field, but everything was annuals, so we replanted all this.
Well, none of this was here when we moved in a year and 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's right. This wasn't even, this was green grass 2 years ago. The side garden, again, all annuals, so none of that was here. Now we've got the strawberries, which are perennial.
And the trees.
We planted all the peach trees, all the pear trees, all the hazelnut trees. That's all new this year. The trellising and the kitchen garden's new this year.
Yeah, we've done a lot of setup stuff that we won't have to do in future years, so we'll have more time for anything else. So weeding needs
the field.
This is the exciting part. You want to start on that side?
Right here. We'll save walking a whole lot.
Okay.
You can see them. Grapes. The grapes are growing really well. We didn't think they would. Last year they died all down to the ground. I don't know if that's the winter got too cold or what, but come spring everything was dead to the ground and everything has grown up back from dirt again.
So not all, there's like 250 grape plants. Was that what we thought? How many?
150.
150? I'd say
half of them.
20? 25? Something like that. Anyways.
Yeah, there's a bunch. And then so going down the road. This one we just left for grapes. This trellising we put in tomatoes. And come on down. And this is all canning tomatoes. And all I'm doing is the string wrap so that it can climb the string. And
so we put another row of the wire up.
Yeah, there's wire there.
Yeah.
Tomato, 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 tomato. And these guys are doing all right.
They're doing pretty good.
Yep. You're walking on beets.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, okay, so.
I thought that was the path.
No, we got beets growing. Yeah, so we did a grow of beets right here down the middle. So this right here is the only path.
Okay.
Yeah. More grapes. You can see them up close. They're grabbing on really good.
So neat how they do that.
Tomatoes. Weeds, weeds, weeds. Tomato. Oh, look at that guy.
Ooh, we actually have tomatoes.
Yeah, that one's actually growing pretty good.
That's exciting.
So these are all canning tomatoes. They'll all ripen basically at the same time, and we'll hopefully make some spaghetti sauce or something out of them.
Yeah, or salsa, one or the other, or both. Or
And then just staying at the end, I did 2 more rows of beets, and you can see them coming up now. So all the way down, there's 2 rows of beets here, and buckwheat. Buckwheat's super good for pulling up other nutrients. Right beside the buckwheat, we did chickpeas. And chickpeas being a legume, they already fix the nitrogen. And so along the wire, we've already got lots of nitrogen being fixed. So buckwheat's a good complement to that. So we did a root veggie, a buckwheat, and then a legume. And you can see that all the way down. And then the next one over, same idea.
this one was
halfway,
carrots and onions, I think.
and the carrots did terribly.
They're not.
No, they are here.
Oh,
Right here. They are kind of coming in.
kind of competing with this lovely grass that we have.
Yeah. So we did 2 rows of carrots all the way down. And then, so this row and the next row over are the same. 2 rows of carrots, buckwheat, and a legume. In this case, that one is all beans. And if we come on down, potatoes!
That was the one thing that did really good this whole time. They loved all the rain.
So the last third of this row, the last third of that row, we did potatoes instead of carrots or beets. And so that's that. And then this side, you still got the tomatoes, or the grapes,
Grapes.
chickpeas all the way down.
Were these the black chickpeas?
Yeah.
Yeah, black
And
ones.
you can see the seed pods are coming in.
Ooh. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Neat. I'm really excited to see how those do and how they taste.
That's that. Some more potatoes. On this trellising, we did beans, and they did quite good. The only problem is there's nothing for them to climb on. 2 little wires was not enough.
So we might move those to the front garden next year or add more trellising somewhere.
More wires up. Yeah. Need to do something. They ran out of space. And the last trellising, green peas. They kind of started growing, and there are some peas on here. That's, yeah,
Yeah.
but they didn't do good.
Nope.
Nothing. The grapes again. The grapes are interspersed everywhere, and the grapes did pretty good. More grapes. And then not a lot. This variety of bean did pretty good. But again, the deer. The deer are eating it off.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's really something we'll have to deal with. And down the line, and starting here to the end, we did fava beans. And I think they're doing good.
I think these ones are doing good too.
Yeah,
We might
I know
get-
again, I don't know what is causing that. I haven't had time to look, but there's some sort of problem we're gonna have to fix.
Yep.
Because that's affecting a lot of them. Like, look at that plant.
Yeah.
That's just destroyed.
So, yeah.
But fava beans.
So again, future years, we should have more time to deal with pests, deer, because we're not going to be planting all these trees
Everything.
and trellises and bushes and all the things
And then worth pointing out is 2 rows of potatoes.
that are doing amazing.
Yeah.
You have been dealing with potato beetles every
I
day.
have to go mechanically hand remove them basically every night. But it's working. They're doing amazing. So that is the field. A lot going on. I love it. And the last thing is some raspberries, the greenhouse, and some cherry tomatoes.
Here we go. That's the wood pile that we're in the process of stacking. God, probably about half of it done. That's for heating for the winter.
And we do have a little greenhouse going where we've been starting seeds. And we've got a whole bunch of asparagus, one variety, a whole bunch more asparagus, another variety.
And you're going to plant that up hopefully in the next few days.
And then I've got a bunch of herbs, rosemary, thyme, dill, cilantro.
We started those really late, so they're not.
More marigolds for the tree guilds. This is supposed to be spinach, but somehow tomatoes ended up in here. And we did start some lettuces. Yep.
Yep.
Next year we will up our greenhouse game. Raspberries. We made the mistake of planting them next to a rose bush. They're in the same family, and when the canes come up, you can't tell the difference.
Don't do that.
Yeah, we thought this was a really good raspberry bush, doing so good. It's roses. So we did get a few raspberry bushes survived from last year.
So we're just discussing if we're going to move them somewhere else. We haven't decided yet.
Yeah, well, we'll probably move them, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't work.
Nope. Oh, and the reason the rose bush is here is that's covering our well. So we don't want to take that out because that's protecting that.
Yeah. And then around to the front yard, our last item. And this one, the tree guilds did pretty darn good.
They actually
Deer
kind of
did
look
terrible.
pretty. Yeah.
But yeah, so staying there, it's not loud. The deer ate it up. It has come back and they've eaten it up again. They like it. But that said, the lupins are doing well, the nasturtiums are doing well, the onions and the garlic are doing well, and the comfrey is doing well. So from a, oh, and the marigolds. There are marigolds right there.
Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Hard to hear with the
And
cars
there are
going by.
marigolds right there. So marigolds, nasturtiums, lupins, onions,
Garlic.
comfrey. The whole family's there.
Now, a lot of this stuff is perennial, so we won't have to
Yeah,
plant that stuff again, and we can
That's
just
right.
add to it as we go.
yeah. The garlic and onions are here to stay. They are perennial.
Comfrey is too.
Russian red, I think it's called, garlic,
Okay,
and it's meant to be a perennial.
cool. And then the comfrey's perennial too.
Yep.
And then the, what was that, nasturtiums or marigolds?
Nasturtiums and marigolds.
We know to start way more of those.
Yeah, I've
Future
got more
years.
marigolds in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
So the tree's having a hard time, but
It's still alive.
yeah. And then this one, same thing. The deer had its thing, but the marigolds all came in, and those were just direct seeded. The nasturtiums are doing beautifully, and I did some wildflower mixes, which is why you see that.
So you can see how full this is with the tree, and this is kind of the idea we're going for, is like a tree and then like kind of like what's going to look like a flower bed around it with supporting plants.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
And then
This one's kind of pretty.
you can see how high the deer eat.
So there's a baby deer. It's a baby
Yeah.
deer that's coming around mostly.
Yeah, but the nasturtiums on this one did fantastic. And this is fun. I just found this in the lawn because I didn't cut the lawn for a really long time. And so I dug it up and I transplanted it here, and it's been producing little purple flowers all summer.
That one's pretty.
And we do have the lupins and the nasturtiums, and like he's got like a nice big root
Ooh,
ball
show
there.
those colors. Those are really pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're pretty and they provide good ground cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, good ground cover. And then just two more of the same. There's a ton of grass growing that I need to get in and pick.
Well, so part of this is we're still learning what stuff looks like when it's really young, because it's kind of hard to tell stuff apart.
Is it a weed or a flower?
Yeah, we didn't want to pull stuff that might have been good, so we kind of just left it. So as we're learning, we'll know how to do weeding better in future years. That's one
That's right.
part of it.
And so.
And this
you
one's
know,
doing good because he
didn't get eaten.
didn't get eaten.
Yeah. And that's the end.
So that is our full yard tour. we've learned a lot this year. We need to start seeds sooner, we need to plant sooner, we need to start way more seeds than we did, and we need to do way more maintenance. Those things didn't happen because we were doing 4 large one-time projects. That included our kitchen reno that we did over the winter, the kitchen garden, putting that all together and doing the arch trellises, the compost bins. We moved those, and then Kyle did 2 iterations of it because the first one didn't keep the raccoons out. And increasing where we planted. So when we moved in last year, it was just the grapes in the main field trellising, and we didn't plant anything else in there last year. This year we planted stuff in all those rows, added a lot of plants in there, and then also did 2 rows of potatoes on the side. So all that stuff took a lot of time that we won't have to do again. We also planted a lot of perennial plants, including 23 trees. We did the 5 cherries, 3 pears, 3 nectarines, 6 peaches, 5 hazelnuts, and a willow tree. And then the tree guilds that go around all those to help protect and increase soil quality. That's all perennial stuff. Most of it's perennial stuff, so stuff we won't have to do future years. And then we also planted 40 strawberry plants, 20 rhubarb plants, and Kyle just finished planting 70 asparagus. So that's all stuff that we won't have to do in future years, so we'll have more time for properly starting seeds and getting everything planted when we want to. Kyle ended up spending a lot of weeknights in June up and past when it was dark planting, just trying to get everything in the ground. So that's something we're hoping to not do again in future years. Probably he will take a few days off, or maybe even a week. And I'll plan to take some time off homeschooling too, so that we can get everything planted when it needs to be planted, instead of planting it a little bit later like we did this year. So we'll see what happens with all of our annuals, but we're really happy with all of the infrastructure stuff and the perennials and everything that we got done this year. It's all doing really well and exceeded our expectations. So yeah, we'll see what happens in a few weeks. I'll do another little update video when we start hopefully getting some harvests of some of our food. So thank you for watching today. I know it was a little bit of a longer video, but I hope that you enjoyed our update and that you like and subscribe so that you can follow along on our journey to make our yard a food forest and get rid of as much grass as possible. And yeah, so I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye everyone.